What's up, everybody? Happy Sunday, November 4th, 2018, and I'm back at it again with some more free picks for you this Grand Rising today. So, let's get into it. Let's make some more money. Yesterday, we come off of a 3-in-1 college football free pick day. Very solid. I believe, last week on Saturday we went 3-1. We went 3-0 last week, and then the previous week we went 3-1 on Saturday. So on college football Saturday, which is my favorite day of the week, we have been solid. We went over 75% consistently over the last couple of weeks here when it comes to college football. And I want to keep that run rolling for next week. So we're going to try the same strategy going forward for next week, where during the week we build our bankroll up. And once we have a little bankroll, we go big on Saturdays because we are feeling and reading the board really well. So that being said, it was a nice call on Michigan, go blue. They were not only won, they damn near shut out the team. We did have Bama also, who shut out the team on 6 units. We also had Iowa State, who kicked ass on 6 units. The only loss was the Washington game, which Washington Huskies, that was the worst beat of the year. One of my worst beats ever. The reason that is because they're at home. They're a much better team. They're up 21-0 at halftime. Okay? They just laid down in the second half and gave up the spread. They won by 7. It was disgraceful, despicable. They are the chumps of the month. That's the award that I give to the worst, corrupt, backdoor, whatever you want to call it, team in any sport. And that one was shady. So we're calling them the Washington Huskies, the chump team of the month. So that's my rant. We're staying away from Washington. We see what they're about. They're a garbage team. And actually, I know these people from Sacramento are watching this. The quarterback is from Folsom, Browning. And, he's actually garbage. He shouldn't be in the NFL. He doesn't need to be in the NFL. The guy's arm is weak. He's a system quarterback. He can't make the right throws down the field when it really counts. Garbage. Anyway, off my rant. We go back now into what today and make some money for us. And I have a couple of big plays and I really, really, really like. And they're all in just a couple of games here. And I have some leans too, but the real money that I like would have continued this run. Like I said, we were plus 1,200 units yesterday. Plus 1,200 units. That's not bad at all. Take that every day. So I want to go up and finish this week with another 1,000 units, 1,200 units, I should say. Hopefully we'll get 1,800 units. We got 3 free picks for you today. Your first free pick is going to be the Falcons versus Washington Redskins. Yes, Washington Redskins defense is monster. We talked about this quite a bit. I do like the under in the game also, but that's a lean of ours. We'll talk that because I think the defense on both sides of the ball are going to step up today. But when it comes down to defense, we look at not only how the trenches are played, but what type of pressure they can get. I think Washington can get a little more pressure than the Falcons can. But the quarterback for the Falcons is much better than the quarterback for the Redskins. Matt Ryan is a solid quarterback. Yes, he doesn't step up in the big games. But a game like this, I can see him not only stepping up and having a big day. Same with Julio Jones, because we haven't heard too much from him this year. Julio's going to step up and make some plays. So we're taking the Falcons +2. Again, the Redskins are coming off a win, I think 2 straight wins. A dominant fashion. Adrian Peterson's been getting off. He's doing his thing. I picked him up a couple weeks ago in fantasy football because the boy got something left in his tank. But today, I just don't see it. So we're taking as a 6-unit play. We're putting 6 units on the Falcons. Your next play is going to be on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers +6.5. Yes, they're playing against the Carolina Panthers that have been playing really, really good ball. Cam Newton's playing really good ball. But there's a couple of keys to this game that I like. I also like the over in this game too, but that's another lean that we'll talk about later. But the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have moved the ball on every single defense that they've gone against. Even with Jameis Winston last week with his 4 interceptions, they moved the ball, scored touchdowns. He just gave up 4 interceptions. Now you're putting Fitzpatrick back in, but actually started to play with a lot more swagger. He looks confident back there. He has a feel for the team. And this week, I think we're going to see some Fitz magic. So we're putting, and also it's a 6.5 point spread. You know what I say about 6.5. It's always a bait number for the favorite. They want people to bet on Carolina. You know, oh, Carolina just has to win by a touchdown on a bad Tampa Bay team that can't get it together. They just benched their quarterback. That's what they want you to think. If this was a legitimate line, they'll move this up, not down. I've saw it go down to 6 in some places. So, you know, it wouldn't be going down. It would be going up. And it should be. If you handicap this and you really think that the Carolina Panthers would win this game, I would say this is an 8.5 point spread. But the fact that it's a 6.5 and they're baiting us, we're taking Tampa Bay all over this. We might even sprinkle a little bit on them to win straight out. Everybody and their mama is all over the Carolina Panthers. All right? So that's your second free pick. We're putting 6 units on that, okay? And your last free pick today is the Rams. I like the Rams today against the Saints. The reason that is because if you really look at the Saints team, their defense is really solid. Really solid. I like them in regards to their defense, but their offense, yes, it's Drew Brees. Everybody knows Drew Brees is having a great year. He's doing well. But they're running the ball just as much as they're passing the ball. And you're going against a defense that just bolstered the defense of the Rams by getting a trade from the Jaguars on one of their stud defensive linemen that can help put pressure on the opposing quarterback and also create the edge when it comes to running the ball. And if you play football, that defensive creating that, setting the edge is very crucial. And the Rams just bolstered that. They had, I forgot the guy's name, but they have him they just picked up. They have Dominican Sue in the middle. They have Larry Donald. The Rams defensive front is trouble. And I think they're going to get after Drew Brees today and put him on the ground a few times, cause some interceptions. I really do like this game for the Rams. And actually the Saints, a couple things go the other way. They could be almost like a 500 team. You know what I mean? So I like the Rams today to continue their hot streak and smash on all fools. So take them as your third free pick, 6 units on each. I'm going to run through really quick my leans that I like today. I've said them earlier, kind of a few of them. I like the Tampa Bay Carolina game to go over. The reason that is because Tampa Bay and Carolina, if I think this underdog is going to, outright win, or maybe we're putting the money on the spread to win by 6.5, we're buying that up to 7 actually on that game. That favorite is going to push the favorite to play offense. So I see an over in that game. Over 54.5. We'll buy it down to 54. If you can get it to 53, do that. But 54.5 or 54. So that's one of our leans. We also like the Falcons-Redskins game under 48. If this was a game they believed that the Redskins are going to dominate, or the Falcons, I would see a 49.5, I would think. But about a 48. Came down for 48.5. That was a bait number. We're going to take the under in that game as a lean. I also like the Browns. The Cleveland Browns +8 against Kansas City today. Yeah. It's Kansas City, Mahone, and all them are getting it off. But the Browns defense is really good. I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, they can stop somebody when they need to. We saw what they did to a high-powered offense in the Pittsburgh Steelers not too long ago. All right, so I like the Cleveland Browns to cover the spread of 8. It went down from 8.5 down to 8. 70% of the public is on Kansas City. So why in the world is the line dropping? A reverse line move. We talked about this before in other videos. A reverse line move is when you see everybody and their mama jumping over one side, but the line is not going up. or it's the other way around, depending on which preview you see the line movement on. But in this case, it's everybody's jumping on the Kansas City Chiefs, but the line has gone from 8.5 down. So it should be going from 8.5 to 9, 9.5 to 10. It should be moving up. But since it's not, we're going to jump and we're going to take the points while we can and get at 8 points and to see Baker Mayfield. And I actually got him in some of my fantasy football FanDuel stuff that I'm doing this week. I've been on a nice little roll. I just translate some of the picks that I have, like the over in this game, and I choose people from those games to do well, and I've actually cashed some tickets in FanDuel like I've never done. I'm definitely not, supporting FanDuel. I just had some money in there from a while back, and I did it. But I think Baker Mayfield is going to be a great pick today, and I think they're going to get off. I also like the Vikings. They're banged up on receiver and some offensive linemen, which is troublesome. But I do like them against Detroit, who just pretty much is giving up. They're giving up. They just traded away their top receiver, Golden Tate. That don't make any sense. So take the Vikings at home to make it happen with that defense. I also like Seattle. Seattle's been hot. Russell Westbrook is completing like 65% of his passes. The run game is getting together, and when they have the balance, it makes Russell better. So you're going to see him do his thing, maybe get like 2 or 3 scrambles, but one big one for about 30 yards. He's going to have about 275, 300 yards passing. The run game is going to have about 120 yards. We're going to see Seattle do their thing today, and I like them. And then last but not least, I went back and forth on this one of the Steelers to the Baltimore Ravens. It was like, I don't know which one to go with. So I said, forget it. We're going to go with the Jets. The Jets +3 as your last lean. So let's get this money. I know this video is kind of long, but we have a lot of content in there. I want y'all to get this money with me. We got 3 free picks today to try to go 6-1 on the weekend. We went 3-1 yesterday. We're going to try to go 3-0 today. With Tampa Bay Buccaneers +7. With the Falcons +2. If you get at 2.5, buy up to 3. And then we're going to take the Rams to win straight out on the money line. 8 units on each. Let's get it. Talk to you later.